This video abstract is Coach Reports of Peer Victimization in Youth Sport, presented for the North American Society for the Psychology of Sport and Physical Activity 2020 virtual conference. So we know that a majority of aggressive behavior experienced by youth athletes is committed by peers. One such aggressive behavior linked to maladjustment and internalizing problems is peer victimization. Peer victimization often occurs in primary school settings, as well as relies on youth self-report. We know less about other popular contexts for young people, such as youth sport, and from independent reporters, such as adults, who may provide additional insight into the frequency and prevalence of peer victimization. Accordingly, the purpose of this study was to explore prevalence data on physical, social, verbal, and damage to property types of victimization and related characteristics of youth sport. 204 youth sport coaches from 16 different sports with athletes in age ranging from 6 to 17 years old completed demographic surveys and a modified version of our peer victimization measure. We used a modified version of the multidimensional peer victimization scale to assess peer victimization. This scale asks coaches to report whether they witnessed physical, verbal, social, or damage to property types of victimization on a 3-point Likert scale, with 0 being not at all, 1 being only once, and 2 being more than once over the past sports season. In order to qualify if victimization occurred, prevalence was counted as coaches only endorsing items that had more than once over the past sport season. So prevalence data were, for physical victimization, 11.2% of our coaches reported observing teammate-on-teammate physical victimization. The highest victimization was verbal with 43.4%, followed by social at 20%, and damage to property observed by 13.7% of the sample's coaches. We also found that greater reports of verbal victimization occurred on all male teams than all female teams, but these were not different than mixed teams. Unsurprisingly, the more practices coaches reported having, the higher reports of both verbal and social victimization. Additionally, there was no evidence that reports of victimization for any type differed by the sex of the coach, competitive level of the team, or age group of the athletes. Compared to previous research, these results provide a granular view of a wide age range and a variety of sports that victimization occurs, and the prevalence of victimization differs by the type of victimization occurring. This may be why these results may differ from previous research that has exclusively focused on high school age groups. Future research would benefit from comparing coach and youth reports to better understand the consequences of peer victimization in youth sport. We'd like to thank coaches for participating, the Rutgers Youth Sports Research Council, the NASPSPA community, and for you to take the time to watch this video presentation. Thank you.